what am I giving to a company versus a company going to Facebook ads manager to buy ads, or go to Twitter ads to buy Twitter ads? Like how much is my click matter more for the brand? So I understand that not only I'm offering like better views, number of engagements, and also a very specific catering genuine kind of connections with the audience, and it's brand building. So even if I understand it, the person that hiring me from the company might not understand it because they could be from different backgrounds. So able to understand and explain that concept to them and let them know that you're not just buying, my time, my service, my promotions against a ad platform where you can get like, 5 cents per view. You're buying a totally branding, marketing kind of feel, the whole campaign. So that is something you can't just buy from ads buying. Once they understand that, they'll be like, okay, that does help our brand. That does build an image that I want to do. Like for example, right now I am working with a custom build computer company. We actually just finished a meeting. I'm painting them an image on why it makes sense to work with me than just buying ads on Facebook. And I think they really agree with what I have just said.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I've never even thought about it from that perspective because I always, especially me working in marketing, right? It's very, one of the things that's difficult about using social media these days is how do you get organic reach? Because like, as we know, like the platforms like Facebook, like Instagram, eventually TikTok is going to get there at some point.
Oh yeah.
They're very organically focused at this point. But the platforms themselves these days are really focusing on essentially delivering for the ad spend that companies and businesses are spending on to advertise on their platform. So those placements on like the news feed, it always kind of feels like the priorities are always going to be more so with the brands that are spending the money on the platform. But at the same time, what you're talking about in what you and other content creators bring to the table, and this is something that it sounds like it's really important if you are a content creator and you're dealing with brands, you're thinking about trying to pitch yourself to brands and land sponsorship opportunities. You need to see yourself essentially as well as delivering like more of a natural branding opportunity per se,
Mhm.
right? Because there's a different feel when you're like seeing something on an ad versus like a paid advertisement versus something that is just like user generated, right?
And this is such a special thing about influencer. And I learned that in the cosplay scene very particularly is that the fans, the followers, are not following just the content they created for the reason. Like, for example, a lot of cosplayer might be like, oh, they create a certain type of cosplay and people like the characters a lot. But oftentimes people starting to follow the cosplayer and any influencer is because of the influencer themselves. They find themselves either the influencer either they're entertaining or they can associate with it or they have like a related kind of view with it. Whether they like the same thing or they hate the same thing, it's very much a way for the influencer to connect with the viewers, with their audience, not the same way a company can. Because a company is a more faceless, Let's say, a Coca-Cola doing an ad. I don't know whose Coca-Cola is. I can't look at guys like, that's Coca-Cola. But that's why you can see some transition of bigger companies are doing something similar like that to build that connections. And it's all part of marketing and campaign. For example, you will see of course, the most famous one would be Apple, with Steve Jobs. And of course, now with Tim Cook. You see that with Jeff Bezos and of course Tesla, Elon Musk. People will love him more than the companies he created. And you can see that other companies trying to jump on that kind of method as well. For example, T-Mobile. The T-Mobile CEO is trying to do a lot of videos, a lot of ads about him. He has a huge following himself as well. And that is not something that's really much, appeared before social media. So this is a very different kind of approach when it comes to marketing.